Start this video off with this post here from Thomas Massie, one of the few that can actually be trusted. Some say we must keep Mike Johnson to prevent Democrats from running the House. Newsflash, Democrats run him. Which is a retweet of the video that we just watched that he captioned, "This is the U.S. House of Representatives under the direction of Speaker Mike Johnson. Democrats are celebrating his total capitulation with no victory for securing our border," as they all wave little Ukraine flags. Have they ever waved American flags after passing a bill that's going to benefit Americans? I don't think so. I've never seen this. This is unprecedented. I mean, how could people that are supposed to serve the American taxpayers sit in the House of Representatives and wave a flag for a foreign country that's not even an ally? I don't know what the definition of treason is, but maybe these people need to be investigated. Kevin Sorbo certainly thinks it's treason. Got this post here from him. "This is treason. If you support this, you're an idiot." And this is the video of the Republicans voting with the Democrats to send U.S. taxpayer money over to Ukraine. You can see it right there. Thankfully, not everybody just sat there and accepted the Ukrainian flags being waved, as Florida Rep. Anna Paulina Luna told the entire Congress to put those damn flags away as those Ukrainian flags were being passed out.
Laura Rice. I said, no. The gentlewoman from Florida.
So quite a bit happened over the weekend. Ironically, it was a 420 Saturday. Isn't it ironic that on this day of getting high, essentially, and destroying your memory, the House would go ahead and approve a bill giving funds to other countries once again, right? A lot of people know this, but some people don't. Friday and Saturday are days where news go to die because Americans are busy. They're either wrapping up their work week and getting into the weekend, or it is the weekend and they're actually enjoying their freedom from work with their families, right? Well, I mean, some people are. A lot of people are actually still working on weekends and stuff like that. But my point is, Friday and Saturday is the day where news goes to die, right? And so on Saturday, of course, the House worked on Saturday, had a special meeting. And let's just get into this article. I got two to cover. Start with this one here from Daily Mail. U.S. House approves Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan aid. Also threatens TikTok. Now, personally, I don't have a TikTok account. I don't really use TikTok. I'll click on a link if it gets sent to me, but I don't have an account, right? So I understand that a lot of Americans do, and I understand that a lot of Americans actually make money off of it. And so there is an interest there, and let's just read a little bit more about this article. The U.S. House of Representatives on Saturday approved long-delayed military aid to Ukraine in a rare show of bipartisan unity, while also bolstering Israel and Taiwan's defenses and threatening to ban Chinese-owned TikTok. The four bills in the $95 million package were overwhelmingly approved in quick succession, though they leave the future of House Republican Speaker Mike Johnson in some doubt as he seeks to fend off angry far-right detractors. They're going to call him far-right, but it's just his Republican constituents, well, his Republican colleagues, I should say, and his constituents, the people that he's supposed to be serving. He basically just joined with the Democrats and got this bill for foreign aid passed. Continuing, the U.S. President Joe Biden said in a statement the legislation would deliver critical support to Israel and Ukraine, provide desperately needed humanitarian aid to Gaza, Sudan, Haiti, and other locations, and bolster security and stability in the Indo-Pacific. And you'll notice that in this $95 billion bill that is funded by American taxpayers, the working class, that there is no mention of any type of aid for Americans or, funding for an American border or any type of security. I mean, They're trying to give humanitarian aid to all these other countries and bolster their security. Meanwhile, none of that is going towards America. Curious, right? And to me, it's pretty obvious what they're trying to do is wreck America by sending all of our money overseas and then ultimately, I don't know, laundering it back into their pockets or to their lobbyists. I don't know. It's very obvious that they're not serving America's best intentions. But Biden praised lawmakers who came together across party lines to answer history's call. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky welcomed the $61 billion earmarked for his country, saying the military and economic assistance would save thousands and thousands of lives. Would it save thousands and thousands of lives, or does it continue to fund a war that is ongoing that should be over by now? The only reason it's not over is because, in my opinion at least, is because American funding. Over $100 billion has gone to that country to help them fight Russia, essentially, and they're still losing. It's not a winning effort. It's just sending money down a never-ending drain, which is the Democrat way, technically. If something doesn't work, just throw more money at it until it's fixed. Don't assess the problem. Don't hire people or bring in experts. Just throw more money at it and let the workers figure it out. But not surprisingly, Russia took the opposite view. Because if you oppose this, then you're pro-Russia, right? It's not that you're just pro-American dollar staying in America like I am. It's that you're pro-Russia. You want Russia to win. You know, I don't care who wins. Neither of those countries are America's allies, first of all. And second of all, neither of those countries are America. We have our own problems right now. And paying taxes isn't easy at all for a lot of Americans. They'd rather feed their children. They'd rather feed themselves. They'd rather buy a house, you know, rather than sending it over to Ukraine, who isn't going to win this war. There's nothing in this bill that says work towards a peace and ending the war. It's just, here's some money, right? So what happens from here? The U.S. Senate will take the bill up on Tuesday. That's tomorrow. Senate Leader Chuck Schumer indicates the chamber would act quickly, saying in a statement Saturday that the finish line is now in sight. America will deliver yet again, meaning they're looking forward to passing this, and it's going to pass in the Senate, right? The bills are the product of months of acrimonious negotiations, pressure from U.S. allies, and repeated pleas for assistance from Zelensky, who basically is the Democrat leader over here in our country. The United States has been the chief military backer of Ukraine in its war against Russia, but Congress has not approved large-scale funding for its ally for nearly a year and a half, mainly because of cross-aisle bickering. You can call it cross-aisle bickering, but it's the American people don't want to do it anymore. It's been over a year and a half that finally some of the leaders up in Congress, in the House, have started to listen. But at the same time, not enough of them are listening. So Biden and the Democratic leaders in Congress have been pushing for a major new weapons package for Ukraine for months, which is just dumb, right? They need our fighter jets now because all of theirs got shot down. You know, they're going to need our fighter pilots before long, too, because I don't think America is going to let Ukraine just start flying our $30 million jets around, right? Or are they? I mean, what else have we come to expect? But Republicans, influenced by the party's presidential candidate Donald Trump, have been reluctant to provide funding to Kiev for the drawn-out conflict. And you see what they did there, that word salad that they said that Republicans influenced by Donald Trump. It's not that these Republicans are free thinkers and just oppose the Democrat nasty ways of bottomless pit spending in countries that aren't America while America sinks. It's Donald Trump told them something, so now they're going to do it because they're a bunch of sheep that just do what Donald Trump says. It's the contrary. Donald Trump actually says what a lot of the American people believe. And it's refreshing as a person when you're sitting at home frustrated. Parker's over there whining at the door. But it's frustrating acting like people only want American strength because Donald Trump said so. That's fake news. He actually came out and was a voice for the people. Maybe he felt the same way somehow. I don't understand. It's kind of weird how a multi-billionaire can actually relate with a middle lower class individual. Parker. Hi, Parky. There's Parker's nose. Okay, so where was I? The financing of the war has become a point of contention ahead of a presidential election in November that is expected to pit Biden against Trump once again. Yeah, certainly it's expected to pit those two. Who else is it going to be? Johnson, after months of hesitation, finally threw his support behind the aid package for Ukraine. To put it bluntly, I'd rather send bullets to Ukraine than American boys, Johnson said. They just voted and rejected an aid package that was very similar to this. The only difference is that package before had aid for the U.S. southern border included. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it went. Biden spoke with Johnson and his Democratic counterpart, Hakeem Jeffries, after Saturday's vote to thank them for their leadership and putting our national security first, the White House said. How is sending billions of dollars, nearly $100 billion to other countries, putting our national security first? This is just words that they're saying. If somebody believes that, that is a person believing what Biden said, like they're trying to accuse Trump people of following Trump. So Biden spoke with Johnson and his Democratic counterpart, Hakeem Jeffries, after Saturday's vote to thank them for their leadership and putting our national security first, the White House said. I don't know how sending $95 billion to other countries is putting America's national security first, especially when you didn't include anything for America or Americans. But, you know, that just goes to show how out of touch Joe Biden is, or how evil and anti-America Joe Biden is. It's one or the other, right? Maybe both. The handful of far-right Republicans who had threatened to engineer Johnson's ouster if he pressed the Ukraine vote appeared to back away Saturday, at least temporarily. I'm actually going to let my colleagues go home and hear from their constituents about their anger over the vote, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene said on CNN. The Ukraine bill also allows Biden to confiscate and sell Russian assets and provide the money to Ukraine to finance reconstruction, a move that has been embraced by other G7 nations. Here we go on to the TikTok ban. At Biden's request, some $8 billion under one bill would be used to counter China through investment in submarine infrastructure and boosting competition with Beijing on projects built in developing countries. Several $billion would be devoted for weapons to Taiwan and the self-ruled island that is claimed by China. The first of the bills passed Saturday would force social media platform TikTok to divest from its Chinese parent company ByteDance or face a nationwide ban in the United States, where it has around 170 million users. Maybe I should get on TikTok. Western officials have voiced alarm over the popularity of TikTok with young people, alleging that it's subservient to Beijing and a conduit to spread propaganda. Claims denied by the company. TikTok sharply denounced the bill, saying it would trample the free speech rights of 170 million Americans, devastate 7 million businesses, and shutter a platform that contributes $24 billion to the U.S. economy annually, a TikTok spokesman said. So great, not only are they spending $95 billion, they are potentially going to cost Americans $24 billion in annual income with this TikTok ban on top of it. So good job to them. A total of $13 billion in military assistance has been allocated for America's historic ally Israel in its war against Hamas in Gaza. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the much-appreciated aid bill showed strong support for Israel and defends Western civilization. Now, that's something that I believe a lot of Christians might be conflicted on, because the Bible says we're supposed to pray for Israel, but it doesn't say anywhere in there that we're supposed to just endlessly give money to the tune of billions of dollars to Israel. So, in my opinion, Israel is not America, and right now, like I said, we got our own problems. They are at least an American ally, and so we do have an obligation to help defend them, which I'm actually more okay with than the dollars that we send to Ukraine. My first and foremost opinion on sending money overseas, as an example, you want to send $50 million overseas, you gotta also include another $50 million into American Social Security. You're not gonna send American working tax dollars overseas without ensuring that those same American workers are gonna have the retirement they need when the time comes. It's a pretty simple, straightforward proposal, and I think all Americans should support it. But the money that U.S. sent to Israel will essentially be used to reinforce Israel's Iron Dome air defenses. More than $9 billion will be earmarked to address the dire need for humanitarian assistance for Gaza as well as other vulnerable populations around the world, the legislation says. So we're giving $13 billion in military assistance to Israel, as well as $9 billion to the country or the people that Israel is fighting, marked as humanitarian assistance. See the irony there? Can I even say that? But I just got to point it out. And I hope you guys agree. And if you do, share this video, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and be on the look for part 2 of this video. Essentially, I thought I was going to be able to put both articles in one video, but this one's getting quite long. So I'm going to cover the second part in the next video, which is the Senate Republicans and what they're doing to try to block this bill from going through to Biden, where he's just going to immediately sign it, right? So anyways, thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.